Hello, this is Ronald with Indicator Vault, and in this video I'm going to go over the price action dashboard indicator. And it's extremely useful if you trade multiple markets. You can basically monitor different candlestick patterns across different pairs, across different time frames. Gives you plenty of detail, just basically to monitor, just certain patterns and setups that might be forming in real time. And so here's the settings. The default settings, I'll just go over briefly, just has Euro, the pound, and UJ. For this video, I've added the British pound and Australian dollar and the Euro Australian dollar. You can add them by just putting a comma, space, and then type out the pair you want. And so you can also have different time frames show up that you want to monitor. These are the default settings. And then let me just first name the patterns that it is looking for. It is a pin bar pattern, a pin bar candlestick. You can set the tail to body ratio here in the settings, and that's very handy depending on the type of pin bar you want to look for. It has different alert settings and how it the visualization settings on the chart. Now we have double bar settings. We got a bearish and a bullish settings, and what those are, I'll show you in the chart. They are basically two candlesticks that either have an extremely similar high or similar low, and you can do the variance as far as, are they just 1 pip, 2 pips apart, whatever your settings want to be for that. And then vertical bar settings. This is also known as just an engulfing candle. It is when a candle takes out the high and the low of its previous candle. Specifically, if it's a bullish vertical bar, then it's going to be taking out the low and closing above the high of the previous candle, and vice versa for a bearish one. So let's go ahead and hop in here, and I'll just show you kind of just how I monitor this and how I use some of these patterns just for me to personally trade. All right, so for this first pattern, the pin bar pattern, and if you just go over here, if you click on one of these, it will take you directly to the chart, to the pair and the time frame that it's spotting these patterns on. And so here I've clicked on the Euro with the 30-minute chart. And you can see, it says how far ago it formed, the type of pattern, and if it's bearish or bullish. Now, for me personally, how I like to trade pin bar patterns is, I've mentioned this in other videos, I like to just take the 50% mark of that wick, and I will monitor that for sensitivity to reject from, if this is going to be a true bearish setup. I would look for a trade in here. Now, another confirmation, as this is setting up, I've seen strong rejection from the pin bar. It's broken below this consolidation here, and so this zone I believe can be a bearish setup for continuation down. And then as far as getting more detailed with these candlestick patterns, knowing that a pin bar has set up, I would look for sensitivity in this area on the 30-minute. And what's great is that you can monitor different time frames, and so these can be good for scalps if you're a scalper, or long-term trades, swing trades, depending on the time frame you're looking at. So that's just kind of how I use the pin bar. So let's go into some other ones now. All right, so here we have a double bar high lower close setup. And now for the lower close and the higher close part of this setup is important to me. So we have, a rejection from a price area over the two, most recent bars or two consecutive candles. And we've now had a bar close lower than one. And again, just, switch it vice versa for bullish or bearish patterns. You can see here, I'm on the EA 15-minute chart. You can see the double bar pattern formed just one bar ago. It's bearish. So how I trade these when we've seen rejection with a lower close is I now see that as a confirmation, as a zone for this bullish bar. And so I believe that price is not going to come back up here to the top of these, and that it's going to respect this zone here. And so I would wait for price to come back in this area, look for some other confirmations, maybe like a fib or something for continuation down. And so that's how I use these double bar high and then lower close type of setups. And again, vice versa for the bullish type. If these were reversed, where this was a down candle and then this was a bullish candle that closed up here, I would now see this candle as a zone for price to retrace back into and then continue up. Now, I do want to point out why we need to see confirmation on this as well. So I've gone now to a British pound US dollar 1 hour chart. You see we got a bearish double bar high lower close pattern set up, right? So we've got the almost equal highs here across these. We've got this candle closed lower than the previous bar. However, what do we not see? We do not see price respect this area. And so that's why I would look for more confirmation as far as a better rejection up here would be if this was a bullish bar, right? So this would be a proper zone. But this is the last bullish bar that if price broke below here, then this would be confirmed as a proper zone to sell from. But we don't see that. Price does not close below here to confirm this bullish bar as a zone to look for more sells down. And so that's why, it would help to monitor price with these. And so these are essentially forming, either supply candles, demand candles, institutional candles, or whatever term you want to use. It is basically letting us know it is setting up that way. However, we still need more confirmation. And so, this is an example that we do not see confirmation close below the most recent bullish candle. All right, so let's go over the vertical bar now. So I've got the GU 4-hour chart. Switched up on me. It's this one right here, bullish vertical bar. And again, vertical bar, it's also known as engulfing. It's when it takes out, for a bullish one, it's when it takes out the low of the previous bar and then closes above the high of the previous bar. So a bearish one, again, you just switch it. Now, how I like to use these is, again, so you've kind of got a combination of the pin bar and the other double bars. So this is where it's good to go into lower time frames, but you've got a wick that's taking out liquidity. So I would want to monitor that. So it's, confirmed a zone here, but it's also now even confirmed this zone. Since we've broken above this bearish candle, that's now confirmed as a demand zone. You can see price barely came into it. You could even group these together where it came just to the open of this bearish candle as a supply area. Excuse me, a demand area. So I've kind of got these, it's confirming this area as a, continuation of bullishness because it's taken out liquidity and broken above. And so, again, these are those confirmations of these patterns to, either continue or reverse. And we can, use other things, like I said, with confirmations of fibs. There's other indicators, the mean reversion indicator we have that, shows us if we're in overbought or oversold areas. And, if we see these certain patterns setting up inside these overbought and oversold areas, then, it creates high probability trades. And again, it's super handy. You can add or change whatever pairs you want over here. You can, whatever time frames, if you just want to look at the hourly time frame, you can have that just the hourly show up, and you can even sort, in the settings, if you want just bullish patterns at the top, if you want just pin bar patterns to show up, if you only want new ones like that just formed 1 bar ago, you can sort by having all of the newer ones show up top. And so it's extremely useful, again, like I said, for mostly monitoring, multiple pairs. If you're a market person who looks at all the pairs, this is incredibly useful to monitor and look at these patterns that are setting up and trade from. So I hope this was helpful, and until next time.